Am I the a-hole for telling my wife that her hobby isn't a job and isn't helping our financial situation? My wife, 38 female, and I, 40 male, have been married for 10 years and have 3 kids, 9, 7, and 4. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, has been ever since our first child was born. I work full-time and am blessed to make enough to provide a quality life for our family. We live modestly, and I'm very conscious about living above our means. By that I mean we don't live paycheck to paycheck, but we also don't take yearly family vacations, don't buy designer items, still use hand-me-downs, etc. My wife has been extra stressed this summer with all 3 kids at home. When the 2 older ones are in school, she's fine. But this summer has been hard for her. I've adjusted my work schedule to allow me to spend more time at home to give her time for herself. I take the kids on bike rides, go to parks, swimming, fishing, etc. She has used the majority of this time on her hobby, crafting. She has an entire room dedicated solely to her hobby. She will sometimes sell some items she makes or takes on a specific project for a friend, family member, or the odd person from the internet. But sometimes I feel like she spends more time and effort on shopping for materials than she does actually crafting things. In short, there is no way her hobby has brought in more money than she has spent. Last week was an especially busy week at my job, and I was unable to flex my schedule to help at home during the workday. My wife complained to me that she needs more help at home and that I need to figure out ways to give her breaks. I told her that I am doing the best I can, but my job keeps the roof over our heads, and if I need to be at the office, that's what I'm going to do. She said that she has sold some items recently, and that her hobby is helping us financially, so I should be doing more at home too. She told me it's basically become a part-time job for her in addition to taking care of the kids. I asked her to tell me exactly how much money she sold the items for, and then looked up our most recent credit card statement to see how much she's spent in the same time frame. Even with selling those items, she spent hundreds more on materials. Her excuse was that not all the materials were for the items she sold, but for other projects as well. I told her that her crafting isn't a job, it's a hobby, and it's not helping us financially. I told her that I'm glad she's selling items and spending time doing something she likes, but using that as an excuse to claim I'm not helping her enough is disingenuous at best, especially when I've taken extra steps to take on more childcare. She told me I was being a jerk for diminishing her contributions to our family, and I told her that is exactly what she did to me first. But at least I am getting our family to a net positive financial situation. She is still mad at me and still thinks I need to do more to help at home.
Not the a-hole. First, in a single-income household with a stay-at-home parent, one person having all the responsibility for childcare during the time when the other person is working is not a problem that needs to be fixed. That's literally how it works. Unless you're leaving out the fact that she sometimes comes to your workplace and takes over your job so you can take a nap. If she doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom anymore, that's valid, but it's a completely different conversation. Second, a hobby isn't a business unless at a minimum you're keeping track of your revenue versus costs and trying to make a profit. If she was doing that, again, that's a different conversation, but she isn't.
Not the a-hole. Ignore the "you are the a-hole" posts. It's just people trolling. You seem like a great husband and dad. Not only are you actually working and bringing in money, but you are also putting in extra effort to make sure your wife gets some rest. I hope she does the same for you every once in a while. All these people claiming your wife is trying to start a small business might be right, but that doesn't mean she gets to claim that she has a part-time job and is contributing to the household income when the expenses outweigh the money coming in. Also, it is a hobby. She doesn't get to claim that she is working when all she is doing is enjoying her hobby. Clearly, she doesn't appreciate all the effort you are putting in to try and make her life easier. If she thinks it's a part-time job, you should sit down and talk about her getting an actual part-time job once all kids are able to attend school. This way, at least she will be bringing in money and might even grow to appreciate what you do for the family.
I can help. We have had same situation, and what helped immensely was for her, my wife, to open a totally separate checking account. We agreed how much we'd seed the ACCT with, and that was all hers, but there was no more going in. This took away her "I'm contributing" argument, but also took away her from using our money. While I realize this doesn't fix it 100%, it takes away the largest stressor and allows for you to compliment her when she does sell something, which helps her attitude 100%.
Not the a-hole. That's literally what being a stay-at-home mom means. Your job during working hours is looking after the children. Obviously, working parents should contribute to childcare as well, but it's entirely reasonable to expect that to occur during non-working hours only. Honestly, as a single-income household who needs to manage money carefully, she should want you to perform well in your job rather than out your family's entire livelihood at risk to support her hobby. She's not gonna have a craft room if you become homeless.
Am I the a-hole for the makeup artist walking off as I was difficult and refusing to cover some of the cost of the MUA? I, 26 female, am a bridesmaid for my college friend Lily. She wasn't really involved in planning the wedding, leaving it to her MOH Anna apart from choosing the venue and dress. Anna picked a local makeup artist and she experienced doing the look that Lily and Anna had decided on. I first met her at the rehearsal dinner and she did Lily's and all the bridesmaids' makeup. The makeup had lasted for most people, however on me it looked awful. By the end of the night the foundation had separated in places and it highlighted my texture. When she came around to do the makeup for the wedding, I asked her if she would mind me doing my skin prep before she puts the makeup on, and she said she did her own skin prep and she didn't want to deviate from the look Anna asked her to recreate. I mentioned how my makeup had looked at the end of the rehearsal and that I could do my own makeup instead, and she told Anna. I repeated the same information to Anna and said that I wouldn't mind doing my own makeup, but Anna insisted that the makeup looks for us should be cohesive and just work with the MUA. Anna was quite busy, so I left her alone. When it came to my turn for the makeup, the skin prep she was talking about was a makeup wipe and a facial mist. I asked her if I could use my moisturizer and she said no, it might not work with the foundation she was using on us, and when I said she could use my foundation she said no, it was her professional reputation on the line, so she felt more comfortable using her products. We were just going around in circles and she wasn't compromising on anything. One of the other bridesmaids came in and when I explained the situation to her, the MUA got pissed and walked off because she felt I was now ganging up on her. She had done everyone's makeup barring mine and Anna's at this point, and Anna called me difficult and I told her I had tried my best to work with the MUA and the other bridesmaid backed me up. Anna got upset as we were in a foreign place where she knew no one last minute to help with hair as the MUA had left and Anna and me didn't have our makeup done. Some of the other bridesmaids tried to placate the MUA, but couldn't find her, and we found out later she had just left. We all did our own hair and one of the other bridesmaids did Anna's makeup. Anna didn't talk to me for the rest of the day and has sent me a text requesting me to cover some of the cost with the MUA, as she is still charging for transport and the hourly rate of the work she did do on the day. Lily is on her honeymoon, so I don't want to bother her with this, but I genuinely don't believe I should be responsible for the makeup costs. I feel awful that on the day she walked out and I gave countless apologies, but I tried to stand my ground about the makeup and now I'm getting called difficult.
I have been a professional MUA until recently, and this story makes no sense to me. I have had lots of clients ask me to use their own skin prep for various reasons that should not have been an issue and is so bizarre, and then to leave without doing everyone's makeup is so unprofessional. I find this MUA's behavior so egregious. You weren't asking for anything out of bounds at all. I can't imagine acting this way and then demanding $1 later unless there are missing reasons. Stand your ground does make it sound like you were being rude. I guess in hindsight you should have just said you will do your own makeup and not argue with this crazy person. This MUA has balls to leave before she's finished, then demand payment. I personally would probably pay for what your makeup would have cost to keep the peace and to not drag Lily into it, but not the a-hole.
People are being dumb here. You never let someone mess with your skincare. Period. All they had to let you do was use your own skin prep and the makeup wouldn't have even deviated that much or even at all. They just wanted to charge more for real. I get that it wasn't your date, but letting someone handle something that could make your skin react is a big no-no in personal health. Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole. Pro makeup artist here. The MUA was definitely being unprofessional by not letting you apply your own base. It's not like her bridesmaid makeup was about to be analyzed by a panel of judges, so the line about her professional reputation is just bogus. No one on earth would ever say, wow, the bridesmaids look so cohesive, except for that one girl's foundation. She wasn't open to adapt the makeup to add proper skin prep. It was also very inappropriate for her to leave without communicating with the client that hired her. Very, very messy. This is not how it is done at all.
Not the a-hole. If a makeup artist is unwilling to work with you about what you put on your face, then they don't put on your face. Anna knew about the issues, and instead of getting her face done first, she decided to go last. Anna should take it up with the MUA because she could have just refused to wear your makeup and went on to the next person.
Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter that her sister isn't the golden child? You missed out on opportunity because you proved over and over couldn't trust you? This is about my two daughters. They are a year apart. I will call them Callie and Rebecca. Rebecca was a rough teenager. She would sneak out, steal, lie, had trouble in school, etc. Callie was the opposite. She barely even got in trouble and was an honor student. Due to Rebecca's behavior, she lost privileges. When they were both became freshmen, I allowed them to go places without a parent. Callie was fine alone, but Rebecca causes problems usually by stealing. She would lose that privilege, and every time she gave her a chance to earn trust back, she would do something else. This happened for a lot of things, cars, trips, and so on. It was a circle, and when she was 16, we did therapy. She hated it, and it made it worse. She was very resentful that we were forcing her to go. Rebecca really started to resent Callie also because she would do things while she had extra rules and conditions. At 18, she left to live at her aunt's. She robbed the place, and my sister pressed charges. She almost went to jail, and after that she started to turn her life around. To the main issue, I picked her up and she made some remarks that she should have a car like Callie. She bought her car from a family member. I told her she should save up for one. She made a comment about how Callie is the golden child, and that is why she had a good childhood with opportunity while hers sucked. I told her no, Callie is not the golden child, and the reason she had opportunities that you didn't have was because we could trust Callie. As a teenager, you proved over and over again that you were not to be trusted. She got mad and it started an argument. She is pissed we throw her past in her face. My wife thinks I shouldn't have said anything even if it is true.
Info. Did you and or your wife ever try to get to the heart of why Rebecca went into stealing and sneaking out and all the rest of it? Or was it just revoke privileges and done? The latter obvious was right and necessary, but also did you just write off the behavior as, she's clearly just a problem? Or did you try and figure out if something else was going on?
Yes, we did, but got a different answer each time. As I said, therapy made it worse, so to this day, I really don't know her main motivation.
Yeah, on the one hand it's hard not to wonder what precipitated Rebecca's acting out behavior originally, if you were unknowingly treating Callie as a golden child before that, or if something happened to Rebecca that you're not aware of, etc., but she's 22 and responsible for herself now. I don't think you were out of line with your statement based on what you've presented here.
You didn't throw her past in her face, you gave a logical response after she made an unfounded accusation full of internet buzzwords. Not the a-hole, and hopefully Rebecca is still in the process of turning her life around, because it sounds like she isn't there yet.
Not the a-hole throw her past in face? You mean make decisions based on people past actions? Yeah, dummy, no kidding. She may have started to turn her life around, but she still has a long way to go. You see the same behavior with recovering drug addicts. They want to pretend that anything they did before doesn't count anymore.
Not the a-hole actions have consequences, and it sounds like you tried to help her understand that from a young age. It's important for her to acknowledge her past behavior contributed to her missed opportunities, not favoritism.
Not the a-hole. Rebecca's 22, not 12. If she's gonna play the golden child card, she can't act shocked when her past comes up. Sure, there might be more to the story, but stealing and robbing family? That's not typical teen rebellion. At some point, you gotta stop blaming others and own your mistakes. Dad could have been gentler, but sometimes you need a reality check, not coddling. Time for Rebecca to grow up and take some responsibility.
Am I the a-hole for how I reacted when my parents surprised my 16-year-old little sister with a new car for her birthday after she finished her cancer treatment but bought me a $25 gift card and a book for mine, which was just 2 weeks later? My sister was diagnosed with cancer last year. It has been hard on our family and even harder on her. I love my sister and I tried to be there for her as best as I could. I also did everything I could to make things easier for my parents. I took over all chores, cooked every day, cleaned the house, did laundry, took care of my younger sibling, and babysat them more. Luckily, she is doing really well and has recently finished her treatment, which is great, and we are all grateful. Our birthdays are 2 weeks apart, and hers was 2 weeks ago. My parents bought her a new car to celebrate after everything she went through, which I understand. She does deserve it, but I was a bit surprised because I thought they didn't have any money. My dad has been unwilling to help me get a used car since last year, telling me that they do not have the money. I didn't even want him to pay for all of it. I have been saving up and just wanted them to help me with the rest, but he kept telling me that they have no money for that. Well, my birthday just rolled around and my parents bought me a book that I mentioned in passing and a $25 takeout gift card to a place I like. I thanked them, but they saw that I wasn't too thrilled and asked me what was wrong. I told them that while I appreciate the gifts, I thought that they were finally going to help me with the remaining $800 for buying the used car, seeing that they could now afford a new car for my sister. But that's when they accused me of being jealous of my sister, who had just gone through something very traumatic, and that I was trying to make everything about me and why I couldn't just be happy for her. They said that at the end of the day I have a job and could just continue saving. Am I the a-hole?
Info: how old are you and what did you get for your 16th birthday?
I'm 19. I got new headphones.
Not the a-hole. This would be the end of me helping out. Do your chores and move on. It's sad that your sister has to deal with cancer, but the gap between gifts is too much. And if you keep giving, your resentment will keep building.
Yep, I'd be done. They can kick me out if they want to, but then I would tell everyone they know that they did that. They are not saintly humans for getting their kid through cancer while ignoring the rest of their kids. They suck.
I'd get more hours at work so you can save more for that car. If you can't babysit anymore, well, too bad. You are just doing what they said, right? Also, I would study more in a quiet library or start volunteering in your community and so on. All those extra chores you have done to help out, nope. They can do them now that the treatments are over.
Not the a-hole. This is a surefire way for your parents to create a situation where you resent both them and your sibling. I understand wanting to do something nice for your sister after what she's been through, but the gifts are really unproportionate, and I'm not sure why they thought that was a good idea. Especially if you've been carrying the weight of chores and housework for others while your sister has been sick. I think you should work more hours to save up for a car faster. And since you'll be working more, you should stop contributing as much to the household in terms of cooking, cleaning, and childcare.
Your parents really said, you are making your own birthday all about you? Ah, yeah, that's the point of birthdays. Not the a-hole, but I would consider trying to talk to them again. If they are normally reasonable people, they might not have realized how it would look to you and be ashamed and embarrassed.
Not the a-hole. Yes, your sister went through a lot, but so did you. I understand that while she was going through treatment, she may have gotten more gifts from friends, family, etc. But when giving gifts to you and your sister for birthdays, Christmas, etc., their values should be equal. This is very easy. I know, because I have 2 daughters, and when my youngest was 4, she was diagnosed with a cancerous brain tumor. She went through surgery and treatment, and I never treated her any better than I treated her 7-year-old sister. Yes, she received about 15 stuffed animals from friends and family, and only one of those friends thought to get a stuffed animal for Brenda as well, and an aunt and uncle that bought tablets for both of them. When she came to the hospital to visit her sister, I took her down to the gift shop and let her select a stuffed animal. She didn't get 15, but she got 2, and she was happy with that. But when it came to their birthdays and Christmas, I always tried to make it equal. I love them both very much, and it was hard on both of them. I let my oldest know that I appreciated all her help and her patience, and I apologized that I was spending so much more time with her sister out of town and at the hospital. But that all changed when we came home after the treatment was over. Then I spent my time with both of my girls. Did your parents favor your sister before the cancer diagnosis? Your parents should be grateful for all the help you gave them while your sister was sick, helping around the house. I'm sorry they don't recognize that. One day you will find someone that will recognize you for all you are worth. Hang on to that person, and if your parents don't change, I would distance yourself from them. Keep the people in your life that appreciate you and all that you do.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos.